Not one, not two, but three surprising side effects of carnivore that I wish someone had told me sooner. And number three scared the bejeebus out of me, had me going to the doctor, and surprised the life out of me with what he said, okay? So let's dive in. Number one, keloid scars minimizing to next to nothing, like a teeny tiny line. And now we all know that like regular scarring can do that, but like keloid scars are raised, they're puffy, and the spot that mine were in were really painful. So I can't show them to you. That's not safe for the internet kind of thing. But I did have a breast reduction in 2005. It was considered medically necessary, and we didn't know. They were like, do you have keloid scarring? And I'm like, no, because we didn't know. I hadn't had surgery before. I didn't know that I would have a keloid scar, right? So I did have keloid scarring. I did raw vegan back in the day for 5.5 years. And while that reduced them some, it did not do what this did. Okay, it did not. And yes, I know, shocking, raw vegan goes carnivore. That's another video for another day. That being said, thin little line. So I went from like it being painful and uncomfortable to wearing a bra, any kind of lingerie, anything like that, to being able to wear anything that I want to wear because there's no pain, because there's no raised keloid scarring. It's just a thin scar line now. If you've ever dealt with that kind of pain, especially in like quote unquote bad spots to have them, then you understand. And if you haven't, consider yourself lucky, thank God, because it's not something you want. Number two is post-COVID hair regrowth. And I feel like I only do this justice if I give you the timeline, right? So that you can see how long it was from when I had COVID to when I had the hair loss to when the hair loss stopped to how long I was carnivore before it started to regrow. So that it's not just like, oh, she just had some hair loss and then like it regrew and whatever kind of thing, right? So I got COVID at the end of 2022. Had it in November, had it really, really bad, like almost died really bad. And it just was what it was. Having COVID was no joke. Some people get it really bad, some people don't. And I had long-term COVID. January of that year, late January to early February, I started to have hair loss, like a lot of hair loss. And granted, I have a lot of hair to start with, so it wasn't as bad as maybe somebody who doesn't. How I could notice it though, because it was in the shower. You couldn't really notice it as much outwardly, but I could notice because I had major clumps coming out in my hand for months. That stopped around April of 2023. I did not have any hair regrowth that you could see. Like maybe I had some in like the normal course of hair regrowth that we all have, but as far as like patches of baby hair that you could visibly see, did not have that any of the rest of 2023, and there were 8 months left in that. I started carnivore at the end of January 2024. Didn't have it for those first few months of carnivore. Did not have it until about 6 months into carnivore. So about June-ish or so of 2024, I actually started to have hair regrowth, and I would have like a baby patch of hair here, a baby patch of hair here, some down here and around my ears, enough to where I went ahead and got bangs because like A, I like bangs and I like the way I look with bangs, but B, it was becoming a pain in the butt to deal with my hair when it was all long and trying to work around those patches of baby hair. So I just went ahead and did my bangs. Number three, like I said, this one surprised me. It scared the bejeebus out of me, and the doctor's response even surprised me. And it makes sense if you think about it medically speaking, but I wasn't thinking that way. I was just thinking like, oh crap, what is going on? And number three is skin tags falling off, but not just in any old way. So like I had skin tags, a lot of them fell off without a whole lot of fanfare, but I had one that was in a spot that I wasn't sure if it was a skin tag or if it was a mole. And if you have moles or you know anything about them, if they start to discolor, it is cause to go to the doctor. It is cause for concern. Now where this one was, I've had moles all my life. I wasn't sure if it was a skin tag to start with or a mole to start with, but the discoloration of it caused concern for me. So I made an appointment with the doctor. It caused concern for my general practitioner. They went ahead and referred me to dermatology. By the time, and here's what I say by it concerned me. It started out like a darker pink, light or brownish color to black by the time I made it to my general practitioner. Now, between the time that I saw my general practitioner and the time I saw the dermatologist, it was black and had fallen off. When I went to the dermatologist, they do, for if you've never been and had mole checks and all that stuff, they do like this full body scan. They ask if you've had any changes in any of them. And he took a look at the site and he was like, no, this was not a mole. This was a skin tag. And I was like, but what caused it to do, like, because I did have a mole once upon a time change color and have to be removed. And so I was like, what causes a skin tag to do that? And he was like, well, skin tags come from sugar. Skin tags can fall off on their own. But when he asked how big it was and I told him, he was like, it just did that with that like dramatic flare kind of thing because it was deprived of its food source. It was deprived of the sugar it needed to feed on and continue to thrive and be on my body kind of thing. And I was like, okay. And then, you know, he was like, keep doing carnivore. It's obviously working for you. And, you know, gave me my marching orders and I was on my way. But I wasn't expecting that. You know, my own general practitioner had concerns about carnivore. I'm of an age where you go get a colonoscopy. They were concerned about carnivore, and then they were like, wow, your colon's amazing. And I'm like, of course it is, duh. So, like, I just wanted to talk about these things because beyond the weight loss, beyond the, you know, no more arthritis pain, beyond the no more inflammation, beyond all of these things, these three things I haven't really seen people talk about. And if you deal with keloids or you had post-COVID hair loss or you have skin tags falling off randomly and you don't know why, or, you know, you've tried carnivore, you've been curious about carnivore, or one of these things sparks the impetus for you to give it a go, then I invite you to go ahead and try it. When I started, I gave myself 90 days to do it. Because I was going to start with 30. I was like, I'm not doing this for more than 30 days and nobody can make me because I'm kind of bratish that way and I'm not going to do something I don't want to do. But watching different doctors talk about it, I did decide to go ahead and do 90 days because they're like, 30 days is great, but if you want to really see some benefits from it, give it at least 90 days. Now, I've been carnivore since January 28th of 2004. Have I been 100% the whole time? No. I've gone and, you know, had like a piece of birthday cake, or I've gone and had like something as part of a celebration and felt like absolute crap later. So, but for those first like 9 months almost, I was solid carnivore. It wasn't until my father-in-law passed away and it was after the funeral. And I just went ahead and had what everybody else was having because it was a very long day and there weren't a lot of options that I could eat. That being said, I had all of the pain that came back into my joints the next day and everything else. So if you're going to do it, I say do it really well for at least 90 days. See how you feel. Take note of the benefits. Do what's best for you, obviously and always. But I would love to hear below if you've been carnivore curious, if you've tried it and not liked it, if you tried it and liked it but struggled with it and what your struggles were. But also, if you are curious about what the journey looks like from raw vegan to carnivore, that video is coming soon. In the meantime, if you are a creator and get in your head in perfectionism about content, then you can watch this video here. Also, if you are someone who is in a relationship and or wants to get advice from someone who's been married almost 32 years, I have the video on 30 lessons from 30 plus years of marriage that you can also watch on the channel. So I love you. I will talk to you soon. I can't wait to make that other video for you. I have some fun ideas for it. I was talking with my husband about an idea I had. He refuses to do it because he's like, that's really going to hurt you. And I was like, but it would make for great cinema. So I'm figuring out the workaround and then we're going to roll with that one. Okay. I will talk to you soon. Love you lots. Have a wonderful day.